Hello there, my good people. It's your boy, the Man Penguin here, and we are unfortunately back today with some Hearts of Iron 4. I've been looking at the map today, looking at DLCs that I don't own, and probably never will, and DLCs that I certainly do regret buying. And I was thinking, what country do I want to play? I figured I'd go with one of the countries that was in the DLC that I regret buying. What was that DLC again? No Compromise, No Surrender or something? Or was it... Oh, Graveyard of Empires. Definitely worth $14.99 or whatever it cost. But we're going to hop into this today with Iraq. Iron Man mode is on. Historically, focuses not on. Iraq certainly is a country, We start out with 3 really great divisions. And, well, we're massively debuffed with the Anglo-Iraqi Treaty. What a shocker. The Anglos are exploiting other countries. The Golden Square. I don't know what the Golden Square is. I guess they must really like golden showers or something. Agrarian Society. And the Royal Iraqi Army. In seeing that we're in the Middle East and seeing that we are Iraq, some might want us to ensure Sunni dominance, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to promote Kurdish identity. I'm personally a big Kurdistan guy. Me and Kurdistan were good friends. I really don't know much about Kurdistan. And obviously, we might as well promote Kurdish identity because Iraqi identity, it gives us 2 military factories and 1 civ. So, not really worth it. Hopefully the Kurds can do a little bit better for us today. Oh yeah, that Kurdish identity, man, it remilitarized the Rhineland. Oh, wrong country, sorry. Man, this poor Kurdish focus tree, though, man, it looks so bad. Like, it was just tacked on. The Soviets agreed to aid us. Oh yeah, we're sick of Iraqis. It's time to launch a revolt. We are the great Kurdish people, and we're great, and we're Kurdish. And I don't really know what else to say other than that. And thanks to the Civil War, we have 5 divisions, so I can finally name them after my channel members. But I'm sure that these divisions are going to be great, and they're going to do a great job against the Iraqis, who have a question mark for their amount of divisions. Looks like their question mark of divisions is actually just 4 divisions, soon to be 3 divisions. Alright, but there goes Iraq. And we probably didn't even have to blow up any schools or hospitals to do that. The world is just filled with civil wars today. The Soviet Union, Spain, which of course Spain, Afghanistan, Ethiopia at one time, and Poland, plus Lithuania, which was split in 2, as it should be. Oh, not Menguko. That's lame. Finland? I didn't even notice them. It's definitely a civil war world today. In the focus tree, this is called furthering Soviet support. Obviously here it says for the Russian support because there is no Soviet. Apparently the Russians will make me communist, even though they are not communist. But that's fine, I'll take it. It just is kind of funny. I can also get cash from the Russians. I just hit a button right here, liberate Western Kurds, and I just liberated Western Kurds. As if the Western Kurds weren't enough, we must now liberate the Eastern Kurds from fellow communists. But they're not real communists, they're just Iranians. They illegally occupy the Strait of Kurdistan and, I don't know, they're building a bomb or something. But they're not real communists, and that's the bottom line, and that's why we have to liberate the Eastern Kurds now. This is a real clash between titans here. We're both pretty much too weak to actually push through each other. I have the slightest of upper hands over the Iranians because I have like 69 CAS. Quite a good many Kurds have died so far in this war, 47,000, but I have killed 144,000 Iranians. But the Kurdish know that they're making their sacrifice for the greater good, whatever that greater good might be. I guess getting more Kurdish people to sacrifice themselves later on. That's about as great of a greater good that I could ever think of. And there goes Iran. I took my core territories, which I believe was all my core territories. And, well, I puppeted the rest. Turkey is in the collapsing allied faction, so I'm gonna declare war on them, hopefully get involved in this. I'd love to just get my core territory. That'd be the ideal, right? I hate how they're all stacked on my border. I mean, I know I can't see like everything, but you just looked at there seems to be a decent division stack along pretty much the entirety of my border, while they let the Russians just walk in a straight line through their country, and the British kind of do whatever they want, because the real threat is Kurdistan, and that is very true. I guess the Turkish will cut their nose to spite Kurdistan. All right, Turkey capped. The Turks finally figured they should prioritize the Russians and the British, but by the time they figured that out, it was too late, and I was able to get in and snag up a lot of this. Suffered a few casualties there, but, Now, I'm actually not going to push into Istanbul. I'm just going to push up to the strait here. Because there's no really good reason for me to cross the strait. Well, I don't cross the strait. I'm going to invade Saudi Arabia. So far, they haven't joined a faction, which is nice. I hope that stays the way that it is. Because I certainly have some intentions with Arabia. The Yemenis existed for far too long, so we had to put a stop to that. And the Allies just capped. Well, they really weren't the Allies. But they're gone. Alright, so I was able to get the peace deal pretty nice. I got Turkey, I got Kurdistan, and I can also actually unite all of Kurdistan. But I'm not quite done yet. I'm not quite done. I'd love to unite the Arabian Peninsula. And Well, I was already kind of planning on going to war with the Axis, so I'm just going to do that. All right, well, I'm going to war with the Russians. Hell with it. This is the Axis, and that's fine. Because if I can push up a certain ways, I can just kind of hold them in, like, 2 provinces. So we'll see if that works or not. There shouldn't be that many Russians, though, on the border, right? Because, like, they just got done fighting whatever they were fighting. There weren't too many, and then there were. I was really hoping to get to this supply dump so that I could just kind of hold the river there, but that didn't work out. But hopefully I should be able to hold them in the mountains here. Supply is slightly problematic, but it shouldn't be a problem. I should be able to hold them. I finally have supply up here in the Caucasus. Well, it seems to just be Russians now here on the border, and they're just constantly attacking. Casualty-wise, 80,000. I've dealt 236 though, so... I forgot I had puppets who actually have their own divisions, so... Taking Arabia might not be too difficult, but granted, that's going to put me at war with, like, pretty much the entirety of the world, because the British Empire controls pretty much the entirety of the world. All right, Britain, I appreciate you. I don't, but I want Arabia. Is that crazy? Possibly that's crazy to say, but I want it, so I'm taking it. Luckily, up here's been still pretty safe. You know, a little red, but not bad. And well, I'll just time lapse until I take Arabia. Arabia came under control quite easily and quite quickly. I don't think the British were quite prepared for me to, I wouldn't say stab them in the back, but stab them in the back. I ain't gonna stop at Arabia though, man. I got a lot of territory that I can core, including, well, not really including this, because I have to annex people that, I don't feel like annexing. That's like 3 puppets. That's a lot of political power, and political power doesn't grow on trees, especially when you're only gaining 1 per day. The offensive in North Africa is going pretty well, and Egypt, I mean, it's kind of sputtered a little bit, but it's not so bad. They have pushed me back slightly over here, but, you know, they're kind of low on supply. Actually, they're pretty low on supply in some areas. So I'm doing what I can. We've hit a little bit of a standstill down here in Egypt, and also here in North Africa. But that's okay, because we can integrate Western Mashriq. Can we just say to hell with the Axis, dude? They have 782 to 1,081 divisions. Like, man, fuck them. How? And over here in North Africa, which, you know, I'm trying to take because it's mine. There's a lot of Russians and Spaniards. It turns out if you sit around long enough doing nothing really of note, I mean, the only thing I've done of note so far is liberating Wusa. But if you sit around long enough, political power will grow on trees, and I'm able to annex Syria and Lebanon. And now I can core the Levantine states. That gives me mills. I was planning on doing some stupid little witty, oh, if you can't go through the enemy up here, go around them. And I was going to go, you know, around. But turns out I didn't need to. I was able to actually just go through the enemy. North Africa is promptly falling. And, you know, because I want runtime for ad revenue, I'm going to time-lapse it. All right, but that offensive went pretty well. I can integrate North Africa, and I can integrate Western Sahara. I think I could defeat the Axis eventually. It wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be fun. It would probably take me several years to defeat the Axis. But now with, you know, all of my core states, the industry looks okay. And eventually I would take all of Africa. That would be the plan. I would be able to defeat the Axis eventually. I mean, they can't push me across the river. I mean, the only reason they pushed me back at all is because I got reinforced memed, because I wasn't paying attention. But they can't push me anymore. And honestly, I like where this video is at, so I'm gonna call it here. Iraq, honestly, is kind of fun. This is kind of fun. Like, I might come back and finish this game on my own. I mean, even if one day I decided to go live on Twitch again, I may stream this game. In a crazy world, I might record this and make a part 2. Probably won't do that because it seems kind of stupid, but it's a consideration. It's not, but we can pretend it is. But I'm gonna call it here, so thank you all so much for joining. Iraq was actually kind of fun, you know, kind of fun. I shall see you all in the next video. Oh, before I go though, show off the casualties. 1.85 million dead Kurdistanians, but I did kill 5.8 million. I've killed a lot of the Axis, and of the British, I've killed a decent chunk of them as well. So casualties look pretty good, but until next time, thank you all so much for joining. I shall see you all in the next video. Peace out.